Hi guys, I'm Shahzad and welcome on our YouTube channel. Today we're gonna discuss that how can you perform the Crud operations by using the Codeigniter 3. Make sure this is a crash course, so you're gonna learn each and everything in a single video. We're gonna teach you that how can you download and install and also the configure Codeigniter 3 setup. We're gonna also teach you how can you connect your database with your applications, how can you manage your database, how can you create your tables. We're gonna teach you how can you create your classes, how can you create your views, and also how can you use the active record or the query builder. We're gonna perform the insert operations, the delete operations, and also the update operations in this video. So I hope guys you will enjoy these videos. If you think we are doing good, thumbs up, feel free to share our courses and also the videos. And please support us by clicking the subscribe button and press the bell icon so you never miss any update. Just type google.com, and now type Codeigniter. Make sure this is the official website of the Codeigniter, which is the Codeigniter.com. So as you can see, they are saying Codeigniter is a powerful PHP framework with a very small footprint, and they are claiming that framework with a small footprint, exceptional performance, strong security, simple solutions over flexibility, clear documentation, nearly zero configurations. Why they are saying nearly zero configuration? Okay, we will discuss about it. But for now, just click on the download button. So as you can see, this is the Codeigniter 3.x. While I'm recording this lecture, the current version is the 3.1.10. Okay, we are working on Codeigniter 3.x because 2.x is the legacy version of the Codeigniter. And make sure the upcoming version of the Codeigniter is the Codeigniter 4.x. Okay, because it's not for the production use, because this is the pre-alpha 1 version. Of course, we are going to download this one. So click on the download button. You can also download the Codeigniter 3 from the GitHub, but I'm downloading the Codeigniter 3. And also, I'm using the XAMPP, which is the server. If you are working on XAMPP LAMP, it's totally depend upon you. Definitely, if you are working on XAMPP, you have a www directory to keep all your web applications folder inside that. I'm using XAMPP, that means I have htdocs. So I consider you have the basic knowledge of PHP environment. Like, sir, how can you download how can you create the PHP file? How can you run your PHP file? What is the root of your PHP file? How can you create the index.php file? And why index.php file executed whenever you access a particular folder? Okay, now I have a XAMPP. As you can see, this is a XAMPP, and I always keep my files in the htdocs. I'm going to create a folder here. It's Crud CI3. Make sure it's Crud CI3. Okay, I have created the folder for CI3. I'm going to download the Codeigniter 3.x. So as you can see, the file size is a 2.6 MB. Oh, it's awesome because 2.6 MB is very less for the framework. Okay, right click, extract here. Now, what you need is delete the zip file. Now, copy all the files from this folder and paste at the root of your project. Now, delete this one. Okay, you are ready to go. Now, make sure I have started the Apache and also MySQL. It's XAMPP. If you are working on it's XAMPP. If you are working on XAMPP, just start your server. Now I am saying localhost Crud CI3. So you can see that means nearly zero configuration. You don't need to configure your database. So this is the zero configurations. Okay, now open your PHP Storm. So this is your PHP Storm environment. If you are not familiar with that, you can also follow my tutorials if you are working on Sublime or any text editor. Okay, now open file, click on the file, open, and make sure I have just created the Crud CI3. So this is the Crud CI3. Okay, now I'm going to open this in the same window. Okay, right click, controller. So as you can see, this is the basic controller. Okay, now open the config folder, and now as you can see, this is the routes.php or routes.php file, and they are setting the default controller is a welcome because we have only a single welcome controller. Okay, now what I need, I just need to create the controller. You know very well that you always keep your controller in the controllers file, and you always keep your model in the models file. Sorry, not file, not in folder. You always keep your views in the views folder. Okay, now click on the PHP class because we are going to create the new controller. So it's home. Make sure I'm using the home. First letter is capital, and now store the home inside the controller folder. So okay, fine, I have just created the home controller. Now what you need, you just need to extend CI underscore controller. So it's a CI underscore controller, and I'm going to create the index methods. Make sure this is the public function and index. So that's why I told you that I consider you have the basic knowledge of object-oriented environment or PHP 5. I'm saying echo, and here I'm saying index working. Now go to your page, refresh the page. As you can see, nothing has happened. Why? Because you have to change the default controller. Now you are using the home controller. So open your config folder, open your routes.php file, and set the home controller as a default controller. That means whenever someone accesses your root, what is root? That means shakesy.com or olx.com or something like this. So it will automatically execute your default controller. So refresh the page. As you can see, now it's working fine. Okay, you are ready to go. You have downloaded the Codeigniter setup, and you have created the code for your first controller. You have used the default controller. Okay, now create your database. Okay, if you are working on PHPMyAdmin, it's totally depend upon you. If you are working on SQL Yoke, it's totally depend upon you. I'm going to use the data grid. We will discuss about the data grid. But for now, I'm going to create the Crud CI3. Okay, so create the database. I have just created the database using PHPMyAdmin. Okay, you can also create your tables here, or just this is the data grid. I have downloaded and I have installed the data grid. Okay, wait a few seconds so it can easily open. So as you can see, 2019 is the current version of the data grid. Okay, I have some database already configured. We have just created the Crud CI3 database. You have to connect with your database. Here, how? Click on the file. As you can see, this is the data source. Click on the data source, or simply you can control plus alter plus shift plus S. So press control alter shift and S. So it will open the window. Okay, now click on the plus button. I'm going to create the MySQL. If you're working on Oracles or some other database, you can also select that database. So okay, MySQL. So as you can see, this is the MySQL. Now I'm saying the host is the local host, and the root, the username is the root, password is the hidden. I have created the database, which is the Crud CI3 database. Okay, test the connection. Awesome, it's working fine. Apply. Okay, now click on this schema. As you can see, this is the database you have just created using PHPMyAdmin. You can also create the database here. Okay, it's fine. Now as you can see, it's empty database. So how can you create your tables? So it's hard to create the tables while working on PHPMyAdmin. How? First of all, if I'm saying if I'm creating the students tables, I have to define the column first of all, and it's very odd to enter the values or to configure your tables. So that's why I'm using the tool. So right click, new table. Now I'm saying the name of the table, students. Okay, now hit the plus sign to create your columns. Now I'm saying SID is the column name. It's by default, it's integer, now not null, auto increment, and the primary key. Okay, now I'm creating another table. I'm saying S name, that means student name. You have to provide the varchar. You can also provide the varchar 2030. I'm using the 200. Make sure this is a not null. I'm going to create another column as subject. So it's as subject. Make sure it's a varchar field. Once again 200, and it's a not null. Now I'm saying as age. It's integer. It's a not null. Now I'm saying as date. It's a datetime field, and also it's a not. You can also add as many as column as you want. It's totally depend upon your requirement. Okay, now you have 3 columns, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now execute your query and wait for a few seconds or refresh the page. Now as you can see, you have just created the table. So you have downloaded the Codeigniter 3 environment or Codeigniter 3 framework. You have configured the Codeigniter 3 and you have created the database and also the table. But one second, how can you connect with your database? How can you connect your database with your applications? So go to your PHP storm. Now click on the config folder and now open the database.php file. So as you can see, this is the default controller. As you can see, you are saying active group is the default, query builder is true, and now you can also set false. It's totally dependent upon. But we are using the query builder to manage our queries. So now I am saying username is root, password is empty because we have connected with our localhost environment. Here you have to write your database which we have just created. It's Crud CI3. Go to the page, refresh the page, and now go to your config folder, click on the autoload.php file, because whenever you access your home controller, it will give you the error. Why? Because you have to add the index.php before accessing any URL. You know very well about it. So how can you remove your index.php? So go to your Codeigniter 3 environment, find URL. As you can see, this is the Codeigniter URL. Now you have this code. Make sure we have to create the .htaccess file to tell the server that remove this index.php file, index.php from the URL. So now go to the root of your folder. So this is the root of your folder. Now right click, create a new file which is .htaccess. You have successfully created the .htaccess file on the root of your project. Just click on it, open it, paste the code which we have just copied from the official website. Okay, because it's hard to memorize this code. If you have memorized, so it's fine. Okay, so that's why I have copied. Now close this one and go to your application and config folder and open the config.php file. So you have to remove the index.php first of all. Now click on the refresh the page. Now remove the index.php and access the home controller. It's now working fine. But what about the base URL? So as you can see, they are saying you have to provide the base URL. How? So this is the root of your project. Copy this and paste this here. Okay, now it's fine. Awesome. Go to the page, refresh the page. It's working fine now. So you have downloaded the Codeigniter, created the database, created the tables, configured the applications. So now we are ready to go to perform the CRUD operations. If you are not familiar with CRUD Bootstrap, make sure I'm just telling you that Bootstrap is an open source PHP framework. Sorry, not PHP, it's a front-end framework, or in simple words, a CSS framework. Okay, you can create the responsive applications or web pages using this CRUD Bootstrap. It's world's powerful or most popular framework. I'm working on CRUD Bootstrap since 6 to 7 years. Okay, now click on the link. So getbootstrap.com is the official website of the Bootstrap. You can also read the documentations if you want to read it. Otherwise, you are ready to go. If you are not familiar with CRUD Bootstrap, I am going to use the simple files so you can easily understand. If you are also already familiar with CRUD Bootstrap, it's fine. Okay, now we have two ways to embed our CRUD Bootstrap in our project. One, using the CDN, and other, we have to download the Bootstrap. Okay, now click on the download button. We have to download. If you want to download, just click on the download. We will discuss about it, but for now I'm going to embed the CRUD Bootstrap using these CDN. Okay, so first of all, I have to create the view, which is the new. Okay, I'm saying create a new view. So it's a view, and I'm saying that this is the file, and here I'm saying h1 welcome in Codeigniter 3. Okay, I have to load this view. So how can you load this view? I'm saying this load, and also the view. I'm saying it's a home view. Echo this bad boy. Go to the home page, touch the page. As you can see, this load. Okay, fine. If you are using the echo, okay, now fine, you have loaded, because you have to use the echo while working on Codeigniter 4, because I am working on Codeigniter 4 since 3 to 5 months, so that's why. Okay, now you don't need to echo this. You have loaded the home view and it's now showing. And now just copy these files and paste these files here. Okay, now you have to load this JS file at the bottom of your project. Okay, now you have added the CSS file, which is the bootstrap.css file here, bootstrap.min.css, and you have added the bootstrap.js file. But refresh the page, right click, inspect element, view page source. As you can see, it's saying fn of undefined, because you have to attach the jQuery at the top of your project. So as you can see, this is the jQuery 3.3.1. So copy these bad boys and paste these bad boys here. So now, as you can see, you have added the jQuery at the top of your project. Means bootstrap.min.js file at the bottom, and at the top of you have to add the jQuery. So it's also the proper .min.js file. So go to the page, refresh the page. As you can see now, currently it's not showing any error. So how can you use the Codeigniter classes? Sorry, Bootstrap classes. So as you can see, this is the traditional h1. Now I'm saying I have to create the div class container. Sorry, and now I'm saying row, and I'm saying that column, call md12, paste reaction here, right click, refresh the page. As you can see, it's fine. So you have successfully configured the CRUD Bootstrap file. To verify that it's working or not, just create the button, and now I'm saying submit, and now I'm saying class, it's button, and make sure it's primary. So save the file, go to the page, refresh the page. It's now fine. Right click, inspect element, If you are not seeing any error in the console, that means you have successfully added your CSS or JS files or in simple bootstrap file. So this is the one way to embed or attach the bootstrap. Okay, now what is the second way? The second way is to download the source file. So compile.css or source files. I'm going to download the compile.css. So download this bad boy, and now you have to keep this bad boy at the root of your project. But I'm going to create a folder, assets, and now I am going to keep all the CSS and JS files here. So open the PHP store. As you can see, this is the assets folder, and I have downloaded the bootstrap. Now go to the assets folder and right click, extract with file. Delete this bad boy. Right click, rename, just keep the bootstrap. Now you must have the CSS folder and JS folder. You have several CSS files and also the several JS files. Okay, so you have downloaded the physical files of the bootstrap. So remove this CSS file of the bootstrap. Now go to the page, refresh the page. As you can see, it's not working now because you have just removed the CSS file. Now I'm saying link real style sheet, and now I'm saying type text/css, and the href is I have to use the base URL. As you know, we have configured or set the base URL at the config folder and config.php file. As you can see, this is the base URL. So we keep all the folder here like assets and bootstrap, which we have just done. Now, okay, fine. Close the bad boy. Now I am saying go to the root of the project, find the assets folder, find the bootstrap folder, and find the bootstrap.css file. Okay, now go to the page, refresh the page. As you can see, it's giving you the base URL error. Okay, because it's a base URL. Okay, now why it's giving the base URL error? Because you have to load the URL helper. How can you load your URL helper? We are going to use some helpers like URL helper, form helper, and some other libraries, so don't worry about it. Open your autoload.php file, and as you can see, these are the libraries. So you have to load few libraries like database. We are going to use the active records or the query builder, and also okay, fine. Find the helper. So this is the helper. I'm going to use the URL helper and also the form helper. So close these bad boys, go to the page, refresh the page. As you can see, now it's working fine. But your Codeigniter your bootstrap environment is not working. Right click, inspect element to view the sources. It's not getting the files. That's why it's showing 404 error. So open your home.file and it's saying assets bootstrap.css file. So open the bootstrap folder and open the CSS folder. Make sure in the bootstrap we have a CSS folder, and in the CSS we have a bootstrap.css file. So that's why it was giving you the error. So refresh the page. As you can see, now it's working fine. So now you have added the CSS file, physical CSS file of the bootstrap. You also have to add the JS file, this bootstrap.min.js file. So okay, now I'm saying remove this bad boy. I'm saying script, and now I'm saying the type is text/javascript, and the source is similarly. I'm saying find the root of the project, and I'm saying find the assets folder, find the bootstrap folder, and find the JS folder, and in the JS we definitely have some JS file like bootstrap.js file or bootstrap.min.js file. Okay, now go to the page, refresh the page to verify either it's working or not. Right click, inspect element, console. This is working fine. If you write the wrong file name, it will give you the error. So as you can see, it's giving you the error 404 not found. Okay, if you provide the wrong path, or suppose this path is not available, XYZ. So go to the page, refresh the page, definitely it will give you the error. What you need, go to your PHP store, and now this is the home controller. I'm saying this is the class here, and now I'm going to create another function or another method. So it's public and function, and I'm saying that new student. Make sure student. So it's really depend upon you if you use the small or the capital. Okay. Now I'm saying this load, and now I'm saying view. Right here view. So this is the home view we have created, or you can create the. Okay, fine. Now go to the page, refresh the page, access your home controller, home and new student. It's a new student. Okay. Now I'm saying it's a new student. Okay, now it's working fine. But I'm going to create a view with the same name, new student. Okay, now copy this bad boy, go to your view folder, create a view, and keep that view in the same folder. That means views folder. So I'm saying new views. So it's fine. Now we have one problem. How? As you can see in the home controller, you have added the CSS and JS file, but if you are creating another view, and here what you need, you have to add the CSS and JS file. So why you copy this CSS and JS file from the, now if I say that, wait a few seconds, I'm going to explain. Welcome in Bootstrap. Go to the page, refresh the page. So now I'm saying new student. As you can see, if I add the Bootstrap button, so class button, finally go to the page, refresh the page, and now I'm saying working or submit. Refresh the page. It's not working here. Why? Because you have to copy this code from the other view, and you have to add that view here. Now go to the page, refresh the page. It's now working fine. This is the problem. Why? Because in this scenario you only have 2 views, but what happens if you have thousands of views? That means whenever you create a new view, you have to add the CSS and JS file in that view. So this is a problem. And what is the solution? The solution is we have to break our HTML into multiple parts. How? I'm saying I'm going to create a header file and also the footer file. Now here, like this. Copy this bad boy to save my time. Now I'm saying this is the header file, and I'm saying this is the footer file. Now keep the same file. New. Now go to the page, refresh the page. Fine. Because these 2 files are not available, that's why it's giving you the error. We have to create the view in the view folder. Now go to the view, right click, inspect PHP file, create a header.php file I have created. Now create a footer file for the view footer. Okay, I have created. So we have 2 footer and header file. So go to the page, refresh the page. It's now working fine. Now in the header file, copy the head sections from here in the header file. Okay, now you have copied the header file and start the body also in the header section. Okay, Now what you just need to copy the body and the footer tags. So HTML and the body tag in the footer. Keep this in the footer. Now what happens here, as you can see, you are now adding the CSS file in the header folder, and now we are going to add the JS file. So these are the JS files. Cut these bad boys and add these bad boys there. Okay, we have added the JS file in the footer. We have added the CSS file in the footer. You can create as many as CSS file as you want. Okay, now you are starting the HTML. You are closing the HTML here. You are starting the body here, and you are closing the body here. And here in the new student.php, you only specify these bad boys. And in the home file, you only specify these bad boys. Remove all the content. Now go to the page, fetch the page. As you can see, it's also working. Open your home controller. It's also working. Wait for a few seconds. It's home. Okay, because you have to call these header and this footer. Go to the page and refresh the page. It's now working fine. If just remove these two files, go to the home controller, right click, view page source. As you can see, it's just showing you this HTML. So that's why we have added these two files. Now go to the page and refresh the page. As you can see, now you have CSS file and now you have JS file. Okay, you have successfully solved. Now I'm saying that in the new student.php file, that means I'm close the header and footer. New student, I'm going to create a form. You have two ways to create your form. One, using the form helper. The second, using the traditional HTML or the Crud HTML. I'm going to create the Crud HTML so you can easily understand. I'm saying I'm going to submit this form to home / add user. Make sure you can also use the small letter. I'm using the capital letter. Okay, now I'm saying I have input type equals to text, and the name of the field is student name, and the placeholder is, I'm saying, enter your name. Okay, I have to pop. Okay, go to the page. Now refresh, access the new student. Now as you can see, it's fine. What happens, you have to use the container and also the row and also the column. Make sure I'm saying this is call md12. Okay, paste this code here. Now go to the page, refresh the page. It's now fine. Now I'm saying form group, and here I have to use the placeholder, not placeholder, class, which is the form controller. Now go to the page, refresh the page. It's now showing like this because it's a long form. I'm saying that call md6. It's fine. Okay, now I'm saying that this is the label to make the user friendly. So I'm saying enter your name, refresh the page. Now copy these bad boys, paste this bad boy here and also here. You know very well that we have name, subject and age, so you need 3 fields. So for the subject, and for the age. Now I'm saying the same subject and the age, and change the fields, means placeholders, and the age. Go to the page, refresh the page, you are ready to go. You have 3 fields. What happens if you have one button? I'm saying form group, and now I'm saying that this is the button. Make sure the type is the button is submit, because we are going to submit the form. And now I'm saying that submit or add new user, and make sure go to the page, refresh the page, it's an odd button. Now add the class button. I'm saying primary. Go to the page, refresh the page. Now it's fine. Click on this. As you can see, it's now sending you to the new URL. Now I'm saying the method is post. Go to the page, refresh the page. Click on this. Now the method is post. Now what you need, you just need to receive the data from your HTML. As you can see, this is the add user in the home, so you don't have a add user. What you need, just need to create the public functions and this method. Now go to the page, refresh the page, it's fine. Now I'm saying echo working. Go to the page, refresh the page, it's now working. So you have created the view like this, and you have created the form, and we have discussed the problem of the CSS and JS file, and we have already solved that problem. Okay, so now how can you receive your data? I'm saying this input and post. The second is true. This is security. Why we are passing the true? Because of the security reasons. I'm saying it's a name. Copy these 3 fields: name, subject, and now I'm saying this is the age. Echo these bad boys. Sorry, you don't need to echo this. Okay, yes, you have to echo this, because these are not the views. I forgot that these are the views. Okay, now go to the page. Provide the name, Mr. Shakespeare, PHP, and the age is 22. Click on this. As you can see, you are receiving the Shakespeare, PHP, and 22. So now you are ready to go. These data you are receiving, but I'm going to create the fields like s name, and also copy this bad boy, paste this bad boy, also paste this bad boy. S name, subject, and also the age. Okay, now dump the data. Make sure this is the associative array I have just created. Right click, refresh, save the file, go to the page, refresh the page. As you can see, you are receiving the 3. Okay, now how can you validate your data? Either it's coming from the view. Okay, now we have 2 ways to validate our data. One is you have to use the by default, not by default, you have to use the built-in validation class, or you can validate your own. I'm going to validate my own. Now I'm saying if, else, I'm saying if the data, which data, as age, empty, or I'm doing like this so you can easily understand, or copy this bad boy, paste this bad boy here, use another or, copy this bad boy, paste this bad boy. I'm saying if these three fields, name, subject, ages, check either these are empty or not. If one of these files are empty, then show the error. Otherwise, show fine. Go to the page, refresh the page. As you can see, it's saying fine. So now go to the form. I'm not going to perform giving anything. Click on the button. As you can see, it's saying error. So now you have to redirect the user with an error. So how can you redirect? You have two ways to redirect your error. One is redirect and provide the URL home, add user, home, add user. Now go to the page, refresh the page. So as you can see, it's okay. Home, add user. Okay, not add user, it's definitely new student. So now click on this. As you can see, it's redirecting you if you are not giving anything. But you have to send or you have to redirect with an error. So we have a concept which is the flash data. So flash data is available after the one refresh. How? Before using the flash data, you have to load the session class, so or the session library. Go to the helper. Find the documentation of Codeigniter 3, and these are the libraries. So in the session, where is the session? Okay, in the session library, you have flash data. This is the flash data concept. So as you can see, they are saying before doing this, you have to load this library. Okay, now I'm saying flash data. So where is this? Is the flash data. Okay, so this is the flash data. You have to provide the flash data like this. Okay, mark as. Okay, set flash data. So item and the value. Now you have to load the session. You can also load this library here. This load library, name of the library. I'm saying session. Go to the page. Refresh the. Okay, I'm saying localhost. Crud CI3. Okay, now I have home, new student. Okay, now click on this. As you can see, it's working fine. You can also load this to auto load. Now I'm saying I have to load open in the config folder. You have autoload.php file. Find the library. As you can see, this is the library and this is the session. So separate session library. You have loaded the session library. Okay, close this bad boy. Now use the flash data. I'm saying this session because we have loaded the session in autoload.php file. I'm saying set flash data. Where is the set flash data? So set flash data. So this is the set flash data. It takes two parameters. One is the key. I'm saying this is the error and this is a message. I'm saying please check your fields. Okay, now go to the page, click on this. It's fine. You are setting the flash data here, but what you need, you have to check the flash data that either it's available or not. So how can you check your data? So go to your new student, and this is the new student sections. And now here you have to use the flash data. Form group, and now check your flash data here. I'm saying this session flash data, provide the error key which we have just set, and now echo this bad boy, go to the page, refresh the page. As you can see, it's fine. It's not showing you anything. But click on this. Now as you can see, it's showing you the please check your field. It's showing you the error. Refresh the page. It's not showing you that because flash data is only available after one refresh. So click on this. So this is one refresh, and now it's available. When you refresh second time, it's not available. So in this way, you can create the errors. Now it's fine. So you have your data, you have created the error fields, and now you can war dump these fields if the user passing each and everything. So go to the page, refresh the page, click on this, saying please check your required fields, provide this one, and I'm not going to give something like this. Click on this, it's also saying. So these are the required fields. You can also use the static at the here and like this. Go to the page, refresh the page for the user friendly purpose. Okay, now you are ready to go. Now I am saying John, and I am saying the subject is PHP and the age is 24. So click on the submit button. As you can see, you are receiving the data. Okay, now you are receiving the data. You are now ready to go. We have created the messages to redirect with a specific error or the message, and now you are receiving the here. Okay, what you need, just need to create a model. Now go to the model sections. So this is the model. As you can see, now currently it's empty. Create a model because it's a class. I'm saying my model. Okay, save your model in the model folder. Now I'm saying extends to CI model. Now I'm creating a method check user. Oh, sorry, add user, and I have to receive the data here. Now I'm using the query builder to add our record. So I'm saying this, and now I'm saying db, and I'm saying insert. Now it takes two parameters. First is the table name, and the second is the data. So you are giving the data, and you have to provide the table's name. So what is the name of your table? It says students. So students. Okay, now return this bad boy. Okay, you are ready to go. Why you are using this? Because open your config folder, open your autoload.php file, and now because you have loaded the database library, so that's why you are saying that this db. And why you are not giving the query? Because this is the query builder method, and you are make sure these keys must match with your columns. So you can see this is this s name, s subject, and s age. S name, s subject, s name. And I forgot one thing, which is the date, because date is also the required field. So now I'm saying, sorry, it's not data, it's a date field, and I think by day and month, and with so now I am saying H, I, and S. Now you are ready to go. You have to provide the S date column to match your column S date. Now here in the model, as you can see, you are setting and you are returning the data. So before calling your model, you have to load that model. You can also load this model here, this load model and your model name. In this time I'm saying my model. So this is your my model. You can also load this one. If you want to load this model to autoload, click on the autoload.php file and at the bottom of your project, as you can see, it's saying load your model to auto load. Just provide the name of your model. I'm saying my model. Make sure why I'm not writing the first letter is capital, because we are not defining the class here. So you have to, this, as you can see, this is the my model. So M is capital, so that's why I'm using M is capital. Okay, now you are ready to go. I'm saying that I have loaded the model. Now I'm saying this my model, and now I have to call this method, add user method. So you are receiving the data here, so that's why you have to send the data here. Okay, fine. And now as you can see, you are returning the data. So when you call the insert method, it will give you the boolean that either you have inserted the record or not. I'm saying this is the result. And now I'm saying if you have inserted the record, if you insert the record, I'm checking this one, it's success. Otherwise you can define your error. So how can you define your error, right? So now I'm saying this is the success, and now this is the error. Okay, now I'm saying that you have successfully inserted the student. Okay, now you cannot insert the student right now. Please try again or something like this. You are now ready to go. So now go to your page, fetch the page. As you can see in the data, you don't have any data. So provide the John, and the subject is PHP, age is 24. So now submit the form. As you can see, it's saying you have successfully inserted the record. To verify, go to the table, refresh the table. So as you can see, John, PHP, and your S date is empty. Why it's empty? Because, okay, why it's not working? Because you have to add the month and the day here, and HISA, and now you are ready to go. So once again, now I have to record because I have tested one record. I'm saying Maria. Now he's learning the Java, and now the age is 22. Submit. Fine. Go to the database, refresh the page. As you can see, now it's giving you the results. Now you are inserting the record with the date. Okay, now open your controller. As you know, we have a single home controller and we have created the single model. Okay, now I'm creating another. Okay, now you don't need to create the model here. You can also show the all inserted student at the index method. So how can you do that? Now I'm saying I'm going to create another method in the model. I'm saying get all users or students. Okay, now I'm saying this EB get where or the get, I have to specify the tables. So I'm saying students return. Okay, now here call this bad boy. I'm saying my model, and now call this method. So this method, you are returning the data. That's why you have to receive that data in the controller. So I'm saying sets, or I have to create the associative array because I'm going to send this to the view. Okay, now I'm saying students. Okay, now warden this bad boy, warden, and use the die to test this. Now go to the page and fetch the page. As you can see, you are receiving. How can you verify that you are receiving the data? I'm saying num rows. Go to the page and fetch the page. As you can see, you are receiving 3 rows. Okay, here you have 3 rows. Now you have to validate either you are receiving the data or not. It's totally dependent upon you. If you validate here, or you can validate at the home. Now provide the second parameter as a data. Now you are sending the data to the view. You have to receive this data in the home view. So this is the home view. Here receive your data. With the key. What is the key? This is the key. It's a students. Okay, now this is the key of the data. Now go to the page, fetch the page. As you can see, you are receiving the data. Okay, right click, view page source. This is the HTML code. Okay, now here you can check either your data is coming from the controller or not. Use the if condition to check. If colon, I am saying, and if you use the curly braces, you know very well that you have to close your curly braces here. It's totally depend upon you. Either you are using the alternative PHP syntax or this. Okay, now I'm saying if the record exists, then do this. Otherwise, I'm saying do this. Not found or not available. Now I'm saying that students num rows greater than 0 if the record is exists, then create a table, and I'm saying class table simple table. Okay, now I'm saying th for the table heading, it's id, th or table heading id. Copy these bad boys. Name, subject, and now it's date. Okay, now fine. Now I'm saying if the data is available, then create a for each loop to fetch the data, because the data is coming from the database. And now I'm saying in for each. Now copy this bad boy, paste this bad boy here. It's a for each loop. Okay, I'm saying result as std. Now it's time to create the tr and the td. First table data is the id, second name, third subject. So now I'm saying sid, copy these bad boys, it says name, and the s subject and the s date. So go to the page, refresh the page. Now as you can see, you are showing the data. Why it's showing 000? Because the date is not available. So add the date here, update the database, refresh the page. Fine. You have your ID, date, name, and subjects. But now for the top of the here, you have to add the anchor. to add the new students. Add new student. Go to the page, refresh the page. We have added the link. Now add the class button primary and with URL. Fine, and make sure add some spaces. You can also add the BR at the top of your page. You can also use the margin and padding. I'm just using the BR. Okay, so it's fine. Or you can use the internal inline styling. Inline styling is not recommended, but I'm using. I'm saying margin top 50 pixel. Fine. Button, I'm also using the margin bottom. Style margin bottom 20 pixel. Okay, it's fine. Now I'm saying that redirect this to your, I'm saying home new student. So go to the page, refresh the page, click on this. As you can see, it's now fine, and add the heading here. Enter your new student or add your new student. Add your new student. Okay, now fine. You can also use the cancel button to redirect. Enter. href. Cancel. And the class button. It's now info and redirect to your home controller. Now save the file, go to the page, refresh the page, click on this cancel button. Now click on this the add button, cancel, add. Now one thing, write your for suppose John 2 user, it's learning the .NET or the MongoDB, age is 21, click on the submit button. As you can see, you are redirecting at the same page, but you have to redirect to this page. So now what you need, go to the home page, find the add new, and if you have successfully inserted the record, then resend this to the controller. Try again. I'm adding the Alex 2. It's a PHP and age is 23. Submit. Okay, fine. As you can see, just we have added. You can also show your records as a descending order. So go to the model. So this is the model. And now I'm saying it's a chaining. Order by descending, order by SID and DESC descending. Go to the page, refresh the page. Okay, now I'm saying order by. Okay, now if I say that this DB select static from order by cat. So copy this bad boy, paste this bad boy here, copy this content, paste this content here, return comment this and return this bad boy. So go to the page, refresh the page. Now fine, you have showing the descending. So I'm going to comment this so you can easily get the code. Now fine, just another record, Maria, and it's Maria. It's now learning the Android or the .NET. Age is 44. Submit. Okay, now you are redirecting, but you have to show the message here. So copy this line of code, paste this line of code here, or in the if row. Now once again I'm saying Shakespeare, returning PHP, and age is 30. Showing you error. Sorry, showing you the message. So now, as you know, you have successfully created the record. Now you need few things to edit and to delete this form. So you are showing the record here, home, and you have to add two headings. Edit, delete, and now edit, copy this form, and you have to say that delete, go to your home section. Now here you need few things. I'm saying echo site URL. I'm saying home, edit, student with ID. Make sure you are receiving the ID here. So you have to concatenate this ID here. Go to the page and fetch the page. Now it's fine. Click on this. As you can see, it's redirecting you with ID. So now add the class button primary, fine. Okay, click on this. It's fine. Now you have to create the method. So go to your home controller, create a new method, make sure public function index, and now echo this bad boy. So now refresh the page. As you can see, now it's working fine. But what happens if someone not providing you the ID in the URL? So as you can see, it will definitely generate you the error. For suppose I'm saying ID. For now, it's not showing you the, but you have to use the ID here. Now refresh the page, it will give you the error. Why? Because this is the empty fields. So by setting the null, now you are fine. Okay, so it's tricky. Click on this. You are sending the ID. Now what happens? You have to validate this ID. First of all, if the ID is not empty and is set, then do this. Otherwise, redirect with error. Fine. So go to the page and fetch the page. Fine. If you remove this one, error. So now copy this bad boy. New student with error. Now, please, something went wrong. Something went wrong. So you have to specify any error. Touch the page. As you can see, now it's redirecting you with error, something but in the same file. Okay, now it's redirecting you to the here. Okay, click on this, it's fine. Once you get the ID, what you need, you have to validate this ID, either its ID is available in the database. How? If someone add some string, as you can see, it's still working. Now you have to validate either this ID is fine or not. By doing this, how can you do this? I'm saying this, I'm saying my model, and I'm saying check student and send the ID to the method. Definitely you will receive the array. Now I'm saying that check user, or I'm saying data, because I'm going to send this information to the view. Now I'm saying student. I have to create this method in the model. Make sure this is a public function and method. You are receiving one ID because you are sending one ID here, and here you have to check this ID exists in the table or not. I'm saying this db in this time get where it takes two parameters. One is the table name is students. Second is the ID. In this time this is the associative array. I'm saying SID, and of course SID is coming from the ID. Now return this bad boy. Sorry. Now what happens? You will return the object, but I'm saying that please give me result array. Okay, now you are receiving the result as an array. So that's why I'm saying that if count, because I'm receiving the error, if count equals to 1 or greater than 0, that means it exists. Otherwise show the error, that this ID is not exist. Go to the page, refresh the page. As you can see, it's saying the error because this ID is not available in the database. Okay, what happens now? Redirect this with error, student not available. Student not available. Refresh, student not available. Now click on this, it's a real ID, it exists. So now what happens? You have to load the same view. Which view? This view. Oh, sorry, this view. Because we are going to add the student this view. So now copy this method. How can you copy this method? So it's a new method. Copy this bad boy and paste this bad boy here. Go to the page. Go to the edit system. As you can see, it's now working fine. Now just change this view. How? Copy this bad boy, paste this bad boy here. I'm going to create this view because you can also write XYZ. So go to the view, right click, create a view, not directly, create a view, and now copy the entire code, paste the entire code here, copy the entire code from the new student.php file. Now change the heading. I'm reusing my code. It's saying edit new student. Okay, now pass the parameters here, and now add as a value since you are receiving the single array. I'm saying this, I'm saying s name, and copy these bad boys, paste this bad boy here and also here. In this time here I'm saying subject, and this is the age. So now save the file, go to the page, refresh the page. As you can see, you are showing the record. Okay, now you have to submit this file. How? When you submit this file, as you can see, you are sending the information to the end user, but in this time you have to use
the update user. Okay, now you have the same things, same fields like add user. So that's why go to the add user field. So this is the add user, same things. What you need, you just need to copy the entire code and create a new method. Which method? Update user. So create a new method, update user, paste the code here. Why you are doing this? Because I'm saving my time. So this time you don't need to add the ID. Okay, now you need few things here. Now go to the page, refresh the page. If you die this and var dump the data, go to the page, refresh the page, click on this. As you can see, you are receiving the data. Okay, it's awesome. But you have to change few things. Now you have to redirect to the new student. But you also need to fetch this ID. And you have to send this ID in hidden field. How? Go to the added student section, add input. Now I'm saying type, it's a hidden field, name of the input and the value of the input field. The value of the input field is the ID. So this is the value, SID, name, old ID. Let's suppose old ID. I'm saying old ID. So now go to the page, refresh the page, right click, inspect element. So you can see this is the old ID 7. Now you have to receive this ID also here. So I'm saying this is the student ID. Now you don't need to specify I'm saying student ID. Now you have to validate this one, this bad boy as well. Now redirect to this one, added method. This is the added method, concatenate with this ID. Now copy the page code. If you updated the record, what you need, just need to change the updated student. Okay, now fine. Please check your required fields. Now you have to update the record. How? You are fetching the ID. Now I'm saying I'm going to create another method in the model, update student. So now go to the model, create this method, receive two parameters. This is the data and this is the ID. So now pass the ID here to the second parameter. So it's second parameter. Now update the user. This DB, I'm saying update. It takes two parameters. One is the table's name, second is the ID. I'm saying update. Student name, the table name is this. Now I'm saying return. When you successfully updated the record, it will return you the boolean. So that's why you have to check that either you have receiving the true or false. You cannot right now. Okay, now I'm saying Shakespeare, edited, submit. Okay, saying duplicate primary key. Why I'm saying duplicate primary key? Okay, because update SID. Wait. This is the data and this is the ID. You have to provide the data. Sorry, it's my mistake. You have to provide the data. So this is the data, and you have to add the where clause here. This db and this is the where. You have to use the id here, and I'm saying sid. It was my mistake. Now try again. Submit. As you can see, we have successfully updated the student. As you can see, this is the student. Click on this, update it again, submit, update it again. Now verify you in the table, fresh. As you can see, it's saying Shexy, update it again. Okay, so in this way you can create the update. You can also update this bad boy, edit it, and also see, submit. As you can see, it's edited, and you are not showing the age here. What you need, just need to show the age also. So where is the age? After name you have the age heading. You have the age. Go to the page, refresh the page. Now you have age. So in this way you can perform the edit operations. So it's totally depend upon you how you are managing your applications and what is the requirement to manage to handle your applications. It's totally depend upon you. Okay, but for now it's fine. You can also use the built-in validation library, but I'm validating the fields with my own functions. So now in the delete, add few lines of code. I'm saying button, it's a danger. Make sure I'm going to just write the button. Okay, so add the link, it's anchor. I'm saying site URL. I'm saying go to the home, and now delete the user. Make sure you have to concatenate with ID. Okay, now go to the page, refresh the page, click on this. As you can see, you are sending the data ID to this method. Make sure this method is similar with this, because you are sending the one ID here and you are also sending the one ID here. So why? Okay, now as you can see, I have to create this method. First of all, this method. Okay, I'm creating. So in the controller, I have created this method, and now I have to receive the ID here, and now I have to validate this ID first of all, and then I have to validate this ID from the database. So these are the same tasks which you have already done. So why not to reuse your code? What you need, you just need to go to the added student method, copy the entire code and paste the entire code here. Now you are receiving the parameters, you are validating the student, and here you have to, I'm just changing the few lines. I'm saying fine, otherwise redirect with the same fields. Now go to the page, touch the page. It's saying fine. If I add this wrong code, as you can see, it's saying student not fine. Click on this. Now what you need, you just need to delete the student. How can you delete the student? Now you are receiving the ID. Just need to create a method in your model and perform some query to delete your data in the database. Now I'm saying this is my model, and I'm going to create a method in the model which is the delete student. Send the ID here. It will return you the boolean to test your boolean function like this. Okay, now if you delete the users, do something like and do something, you have successfully deleted. You have successfully deleted. You cannot delete your student right now. You cannot delete your student right now. Write anything. Now, what you need, just need to go to the model, open your model and create this method. Add the ID, receive the ID here, perform some Codeigniter. Now I am saying delete. It takes few parameters. One is table name, second is the ID. I am saying that SID equals to ID and name of the tables. Return this field. Fine. These are delete operations. Now you are ready to go. Go to the page, touch the page. Now I'm going to delete the seventh entry. Click on this. You have successfully deleted the 7th entry. Go to your tables. As you can see, this is the 7th entry. Refresh the table. As you can see, you have successfully deleted. Now delete this one. Delete this bad boy. So you can see you have deleted 2 records. So you have deleted 2 records. Now as you can see, this is very odd. So how can you create the get bootstrap and now type documentation, type alert. So this is the alert field, and you can also use this bad boy. Now in this here, copy this code, remove this bad boy. I'm using the colon, so I need to add the and if here. I need to use this one and okay. Now go to the page, refresh the page. Now delete the record. As you can see, it's saying you have successfully deleted. Now it's fine. It's look like good. Now replace this code. To your edit system. So this is your edit system. And also in the new fine. New student, I'm saying John, Alex, it's learning PHP 23, submit, fine, added. So John, Alex, edited 21, now PHP edited, submit. As you can see, it's fine. So delete the operations, click on this, you have successfully deleted. So congratulations, you have successfully performed the Crud operations in Codeigniter 3 with Twitter Bootstrap 4.